Well, this is not a new problem, and it doesn't just exist in Ferguson. I believe it's a national problem. To what extent it is as bad as it is in Ferguson, I mean, it might vary. But we've had issues and concerns even in my state. Legislators, not just in North Carolina, but in other places, have had to file bills and that kind of thing. So I think that this is the time for us to take a look at what's happening overall in all of our cities across America. And I think here in the Congress, we can, I think, help to move that process along. But it is unfortunate what happened in Ferguson, and the fact that the officer was not charged or was not found guilty. Still something good came out of it, in the sense that they uncovered other kinds of racist activities that were going on, discrimination among many of the residents there. And that's a good thing. So it did uncover that. It gives, I think, not only that community, but other communities an opportunity to look at what's really happening across the country as it relates to law enforcement and citizens and communities.
And for the benefit of our audience, who is primarily international, Congresswoman Adams, I want to just elaborate a bit about what the Department of Justice found. They found in this report about the Ferguson Police Department, they found pervasive racial bias and an oppressive use of fines primarily against African Americans. So in a city that is 2/3 African American, it was found that 85% of traffic stops, 90% of tickets, and 93% of arrests over a 2-year period involved blacks. So just to give it a little more, a concrete face. So once again, so you have this problem, the use of fines, and obviously other matters with respect to excessive use of force, or the reaching for the gun before other tools are used, especially vis-a-vis African Americans or African American youth. What measures do you think, maybe even at the national level, must be taken to stop these pernicious trends that only fuel more anger against the police?
Well, I think what has been uncovered suggests to me that there's a lack of sensitivity, there's a lack of understanding, there's a lack of appreciation for differences in communities. And so I think that nationally we can look at trying to make sure that we require sensitivity training. I mean, I think that's one thing that we really need to do. But we need to investigate more. I mean, just as we saw this in Ferguson, I think if we would pull the covers up in some other places, we'd find that there have been other things happening like this as well. Maybe putting a task force together that would clearly identify not only what the issues are, but ways in which we can solve them. But I can tell you that when these kinds of things happen, it's in my opinion, it's racist. I mean, we really don't understand other people. We don't appreciate other people. And with the population in Ferguson, I hope that the citizens there understand their need to get involved in terms of not only running for office, but serving in office and helping to change a lot of what's going on. Because they don't have enough people, African Americans, who are serving and representing those populations there. So hopefully that will be an outcome that the citizens will take on and understand that they really do need to be involved in the governance of their communities.